This feature presentation is Shanda Games Limited. It's a NASDAQ Global Select Stock trading our ticker GAME. It's another one of those interesting charts. Fallen well from its highs around $6. Over the last few months, dropped back down to around $3.80, $3.90. Closed at $3.92 on Friday. A little bit of a thinly traded stock, about 200,000 shares. It's a little less than normal. Stock can certainly experience some spikes in volume up near 2 million. But I like the fact that it's sitting awful close to a support level right now. I think it's one worth keep on radar to see if it's going to make a move, get back over top of these long-term moving averages. MACD trending back towards zero. As I mentioned a lot of times, not crazy that the histogram bars are moving back towards that 0 point. I'll be looking for them to move a little bit more sharply, start to rise back up, show that the trend is strengthening. Sort of a loose PPO ADX pinch, not very deep, but even as such, ADX is in a pretty nice reversal position. Not in a bad spot to make a rotation and start to go into some sort of bull mode, show some strength to a direction. MFIs, basically below 50, very bearish. Need to make their move, get to the upper half of that indicator, show that people are paying higher prices for shares. Accumulation distribution, it's actually holding on okay considering the price per share has fallen like it has, but it's clearly on a downward path right now. Be looking for that downtrend to be broken, start to show some stronger accumulation in the stock. Shaking money flow does give a little bit of a different read. Moving back towards zero, that's saying that selling pressure is starting to subside. Of course, break back through zero tells me that buying pressure started outweighing selling pressure over the last 20 periods. CCI inching its way back above negative 100. That's the first signs of any bullishness. Kind of like the MFI, it just tells me that higher prices are being paid per share as compared to just a week or so ago. Full stow down around negative 20. Slightly higher lows being made. Still bearish momentum in the play. But what I do get out of that is to show that some of the bearish momentum is starting to subside, and that some bullish momentum is trying to come into the play, although it's just not strong at this point. Tricks, mild upward climb, perhaps indicating a shift in trend. Similar with the RSIs, still in bear chart territory, trending below 50, but making some higher lows. It's really just kind of at a make or break point. I see that the stock is sitting on a support level, but it's also pinned right against a resistance point. So I'd be looking for the break of this channel. If it breaks to the south side, can't hold support around $3.80. Does pick some more up around this 350 area. But if something like that happens for me, the chart's really not in play. I'm looking for this higher support to be held. Looking for it to try and move through that resistance and try and push its way back through the 50 and 200-day moving averages before they just get pretty ugly. You start to see the 200-day trending down, the bearish cross of the 50 through the 200, which is probably going to happen inevitably unless there's some sharp upward movement in the very near future. If some buying pressure does come in, I want to see a little bit of a volume spike, push through those moving averages, and I'd suspect it's still going to meet more resistance right at those old highs. Kind of an odd point right through here last February and March where it was a support resistance level, basically a breakout from this resistance where it consolidated is generally in that area before making its run to 592. On the slide from those highs, it's definitely established itself as a resistance point. Still a pretty nice upside of more than 10% from where it closed out on Friday, but perhaps even more important, making the break back through those moving averages, establishing a new support, and if it can break through that resistance level, it would seem to be signaling that this is a new bottom for the chart, and a new uptrend is potentially going to continue. I'd look for some more resistance down the road, about $5, and it's going to be a little bit sporadic. It's all secondary at that point, again at $5.50, with the main heavy point of resistance up around $6. Again, way down the road, I'm not looking for a 50% move in this play in one day. It's just the short-term mentality of seeing if this support holds, and if this chart can kind of kick it in gear and push back through those moving averages. Those are the type of things that I'd be looking for in the GAME chart, but as always, it's merely my interpretation. Thank you for watching, and trade smart.